Let the church say amen. I see y'all revved up out there. Y'all ready for some more church? My name is Michael Eric Dyson, and I'm glad to be here with you this afternoon. As you know, Greenleaf is this hit mega church drama from award-winning producer Craig Wright, and it takes to the unscrupulous world of this sprawling Memphis church, and is at its heart a story about family, in particular, the Greenleaf family, who love and care for each other, but greed, adultery, sibling rivalry, hateration, conflicting values threaten to tear them apart. Please join me in welcoming the ladies of Greenleaf, Merle Dandridge, Lynn Whitfield, and Deborah Joy Winans. Man. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, that was quite an episode right there. Ain't no church like the one I know, but you know. That's the Church of Big Frida. I did not come to play with you. So this season, ladies, is clearly in line with this being the year of the woman in so many ways. And given the broader cultural shifts, where we've seen the rise of Me Too, where we've seen the seizing of political power and authority by enormously important and talented women, especially those running for the presidency of the United States of America against an insanity.
Yes.
And an orange apparition that happens to be subversive to American society. A man who stands up every morning to excrete the feces of his moral depravity into a nation he has turned into a psychic commode. But that having been said, we'll keep it non-political. So you all play extraordinarily spicy, colorful, vibrant women. And I love that because it's complicated and complex. You don't have to fit into a narrow mold. So tell us about the joy there is in playing such complicated, nuanced characters. I mean, having women in the church, first of all, in prominent leadership roles. Women always ran it. It just wasn't explicit that they ran it, right? But black women, especially in the black church, 75% of the black church is black women. Historically, they could cook, clean, and sew. They could do everything but run the church. And here you is running it, right? So even when women ain't in power, they in control. Not in power, in control. So speak to us about the joy, the challenge of, and the richness of playing women who exercise relative forms of power in the church.
Wow. Well, if I were to speak to what Grace is going through, she's a little bit of a reluctant leader in where she's at right now, but her strength is her desire for the right thing to always come to light. And in this season that we are in, it's time for her family's the underdog now. This is a time where she needs to fight for them and join with them and make sure that God's house is protected. But I'm gonna leave that one to you. She's the powerful. Well.
Yeah.
So I'll go back, and I know we don't have much time. Anyway, when I signed on, and thank God, Oprah could only see me in this part. Thank you, Oprah, wherever you are. When I signed on, this part was written as the stern matriarch, and I could just see like two long skirts and kind of cushy shoes. And I said, oh no, this is a Southern spicy woman. Now, cut to first season, Lady Mae was simply a First Lady. It's through the arc, as you all have seen, and thank you so much for being such amazing fans and supporting us, that, you know, a woman, what is so important about this in the Year of the Woman is that we actually see through charity, through, well, Grace always, you know, wanted to come in and reveal the truth. But you see a woman, a mature woman, a generational woman, actually come to realize that she has not fulfilled her purpose as a woman. So this happens in real time, that you actually see this woman say, you know, that I went to divinity school, and how did I end up being the support system and not being true to myself? Of course, she only realized it after another woman came into the picture. She realized she would get nothing if the church was taken away from her. In terms of being the actress doing this and being able to bring to life this vibrant Southern woman who is fighting for what she has worked so hard for and not willing to let it go. And at the same time, she's entertaining. It's been a great blessing. Because so many times women's roles in shows are not character driven. They're procedural and all of that. But this is a character drive and a passion, a desire to do something. And I love that. I just love how colorful the women in this story, all down to our young ones. They're so wonderful, you know, with all of their obstacles and all of the mistakes. But somehow you love each and every one of these women, and we see it through your Twitter and your response. And it's just been amazing to have such strong, wonderful, talented women all in one show.
Beautiful, beautiful. Homegirl. So tell us about, you know, your perception. You are, of course, of church royalty, right? The first family. You can't go to Detroit. I was on a plane, I was telling you the other day, one of your family members, you can't get up in Detroit without seeing a wine or two. But tell us how that squares your sense of the richness and the value and the purpose of Black church life, which is not often presented on screen, and to have this wide open opportunity to reimagine the representation of the church on screen.
Wow. Thank you. What?
Go for it. You're brilliant.
I have been a church girl all my life. It is my foundation. I don't know who I would be without it. At the same time, as you get older, growing up in church, you see things that sometimes don't really mix, that are not quite right. And the response is always, oh, just give it to God. Take it to the altar. And you do want to do that. You do want to give it to God. You do want to take it to the altar. But God has also anointed people like therapists, like doctors, to help you do the work. You know what I mean? The Bible says that faith without works is dead. So you can't have all this faith but not move in it. You know what I mean? And so it's been fun for me to play this young lady, to speak about things with authenticity, with sincerity, because it's not about dogging the church or making the church look bad. The church will always be the church, and it will always be somewhere we can run to and have safety and talk to God and be around people of like minds and like faith. But it allows us to have real conversations and to show real people. And the best part of this for me has been running into people that say, oh, I've been through that. And seeing this has caused me to go talk to someone, has caused me to not feel shame about what I went through. And that's the beauty of this show. It has started conversations, and it has really allowed God to be God in many different ways.
And I think a great thing about what we've been able to achieve is that the question becomes, who are you following? Are you following God? Or are you following man? Right? Come on. Because we get into a lot of idol worship. It's not biblical. Oh, pastor, bishop, pastor. Who made you a bishop? I don't even know sometimes. But at any rate, to separate the two, and to understand that who is shepherding you to God has his own issues. You don't know what's going on in his home or outside of his home. We don't know that. But to separate, because at the end of the day, it's about personal relationship. And we hope that we encourage that merely by saying that people can be quite a mess. And the Greenleafs have their issues.
Right.
Well, one of my favorite things about the show, and I was also raised in the church, is that people who were not raised in the church can see themselves represented, and the absolute wonderful way that I think we depict a family and the flaws of a family, and what can happen in relationship in family, and how deep those wounds go, and everything happens because of the effect of something that happened before. And I love that we are uncovering and investigating and looking deeper into these people, that they are not one-dimensional. They have so many, the reasons why. One of my favorite storylines is watching Lady May and Grace heal this rift that is between them, because it's not just mama and daughter don't like each other very much. There are so many complicated layers to that, and we know that kind of relationship. So people who may not have been in the church, or may not even have been in the Black church, can see themselves and start a conversation and heal something in their lives. And again, I know we are all blessed to feel that when people walk up to us and tell us those stories. And it's, to me, the great intersection of the craft that God has put in my heart and the faith that he has led me with from the day that I met him. And I am just so grateful to be right in the middle of that with a piece that speaks so far and so wide. And I'm just grateful for that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Having been an ordained minister myself for the last 40 years, it does strike me that one of the interesting things about this particular show is that, there's all of you having been reared and nurtured in the church, or at least, profound religious values and spiritual values. But what I see the tension often between the institution and the spirit. What I love that probing, right? Whether it's therapy, like you said, God can anoint it therapy. All you need is Jesus. No. You need some chemicals too, right? Yeah, this kind come out by fasting, prayer, and Prozac. But you all are able, it's a remarkable, right? To juxtapose through fiction some of the real challenges that the church needs to take up too, right? You can celebrate it, the joy, the power of the Spirit, the gospel, all that's there. But it's also, I think, in a beautiful way, challenging some of the ignorance, right, that we see going on in any institution that human beings make, including the church. So speak to us about, this is a kind of platform and a pulpit, in a sense, for you all to bring some correction to some of the nastiness and the viciousness by portraying it and by exposing it.
Well, I just find it really interesting that many, you meet a Christian, you just never know. How you doing? I'm blessed. Praise Jesus. And that'll be the main one about to start some mess in the whole thing. But I don't know what happened as we make our way as Christians and the journey, which is always back to light, back to God. That's what it is. Why people just land on the Old Testament and forget the New Testament truths, that we don't judge. It is for us to forgive. Consequences are not ours. So why are we so judgmental about gay people in church? Why are we so judgmental about it? Why didn't we continue on oftentimes into the New Testament, which says that our biggest thing to do is to love?
Amen.
And so, but you know, Mr. Michael Eric Dyson, that people get it, like absolute power is dangerous. And so when people get into the hierarchy of power and the church is where there's a problem with this whole mega situation, you know, and it's not all leaders.
Right.
Some leaders are really leading us back to Christ and shepherding and doing the work. But other times, I don't know what happens with how you could tell us about that.
Well, bless you. I will say I was preaching in Cleveland the other day, and a woman came up to me and she said, a black woman, she said, you know you're going to hell. And I said, well, I know 25 reasons why I should, but I'm just curious about the one you know. And she said, well, I heard you preach this morning that God had created gay people. I said, and you think I'm going to hell? I said, because you obviously a polytheist. You think there's a God for gay people and one for the straight people. And I don't believe in one God. But the ability of this show to challenge some of that, right, through your characters, so character driven, but also grappling with some of these issues. In this season, where is Grace? I mean, tell us, can you give us a couple things about what Grace gonna do? Can you
I heard y'all oohing and ahhing at the end there.
Yeah.
She has a few things to contend with, let me just say that.
Huh.
But one of the greatest things about her is that she always gets back up. And when we look past or gloss over a lesson that life and God is trying to teach us, it will come back. And it will come back again and again until you learn the lesson. And I see a lot of the Greenleafs doing that, but boy, has Grace been kicked around by her uncle through it. Has she been, head to head with her family over it? And I see her looking deeper and investigating and trying to heal those old historic wounds and really
within herself or
within herself and with her. Well, to heal the wounds within the family, her and her family, she has to heal them within herself first. And you will see Grace come face to face with the choices of a child, her mistakes as a child. And I don't know, I have so much empathy for her because I just feel badly for her. But I love that we can, as you say, through a fictional character, empathize with these situations because you see the narrative and you understand the humanity of the situation. It isn't just, oh yeah, someone so-and-so did wrong or so-and-so did this and point the finger. You get to see it and feel it and understand it and maybe come out learning something from it.
Right. Powerful, powerful. Lady May.
Come on.
You ain't,
Yes.
you for real in your presentation refused to allow this to be an old biddy, right? This is not a spinster. You are playing her for every ounce of vibrant, erotic intensity, and showing in the process that the same tap source for spirituality is one for sexuality, and often they get confused and blurred, but you are clear about the articulation of a Black eroticism in an elegantly mature Black woman who's sexy as she can be. So, work that.
No,
He's good to know.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I look out in this audience and I see many Lady Mays, you know? I mean, because Black women have going on like that. And the industry can tend to look at a number and try to separate you from yourself. I simply refuse, unless that is a part of the narrative that I'm playing. a woman who's cut off from her womanness. If it doesn't say that in the script, then I am bringing all of her vibrancy and all of her, because that's how we are. You could get in a room of Black women of many ages, and you just see such beauty and such passion and such tenacity to make things happen, because that's the only way we have, it's been so hard to do everything, right? Historically. And so, I'm going to hold on to the sexy, and I am going to speak for a Black woman. They say, well, why is Lady Mae such a, the B word? It feels so good when you just say it, the whole thing. But I won't. But and I say, well, is Queen Elizabeth a B word? Because she's going to keep her kingdom intact? Because she's going to make sure that William and all of them are right in line? No, she's not. She is ruling her kingdom. And so I am unapologetic about who women that formed me and shaped me and that I've seen go through and do so many. I'm looking at so many that I know right now here in this house, and we have not had a voice.
Right.
These women have not had a voice. Nobody has stood up and represented them for what they know, because there's always something like a little cringe. It's like, oh God, I would never do it that way. But so I just think that woman needs to be represented as well.
Very good. Very good. B. Blessed, bowed, and be. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what's I mean, you bring some Sister Winans to charity. Tell us, I mean, similar to what Sister Merle was talking about vis-a-vis grace. Tell us a little bit about charity, because again, it's such a rich role. We can see the conflict. We can see your struggle between spirituality and then convenience. Talk to us about what you're going to face this
convenience.
This wow. Did you ever see it that way? In that
not with that wording, but that's what it is. That's what it is. I love Charity. I love her.
I love Charity too.
When you met her, she's young, she's naive, and you can tell that there is a tension and a separation with her sister Grace. And over the years, she has gone through a lot. She found out she was married to a gay man. And when she found out she was at the height of her pregnancy with twins, she loses the husband, she loses a baby, she has a baby, and all the while is struggling for the attention of her father. But Grace is here, so she's not gonna get it. And when we go into this season, Charity is tired of not being seen. She is tired of not feeling valued. She's tired of not being heard. And I love that she does something about it. It's not the popular decision, but she has grown up and she has decided, I'm not going to be lukewarm. I'm going to do what it is I want to do. I'm going to take what is mine, however I need to take it. And that's her mindset. And you will see it's a risky road.
Just a mercenary. Awful. I don't understand. What kind of children did I raise? Lord.
But again, the historic wounds, this relationship of the sisters is heartbreaking, because did Grace not give her the attention that she probably felt, the love in her heart? Probably not. She was caught up with her sister Faith, with their Uncle Mac, and all of the stuff that she was trying to survive with. And there is great regret in that, knowing that she kind of left Charity.
She left. She didn't kind of, she left.
First of all, fix your tone. That's the first thing.
She left, and I think that's not only did she always have the attention from my parents, but then she left. And so I didn't have an older sister to share things with, to talk to. And so there's that emotion, there's that feeling, but then she comes back and boom,
but
that's where daddy is looking.
And it just happens in families. You know, the oldest child gets a lot of energy
Absolutely.
and a lot. And then by the time, you know,
You get to the
the
baby.
third or the fourth come along, it's like, okay, go take care of your sister. Go. Charity, just, you're the baby, be quiet. You know, it happens, and we have to pay attention, we as parents, I think,
Right.
you know, because there's a danger in that sort of thing. And I think you just, you know, also because by the time Charity comes along, they were so successful
Right.
and so powerful. It's like, look,
Yeah.
Marisol, please get her.
Get the baby.
You know what what I love about this as well. I want to get your take on it. Dealing with the real world of colorism, I love the vibrant diversity.
Yes.
You got ebony ecstasy unfurled in coffee flesh. You got caramel comeliness creatively expressed. You got chocolate charm and vanilla vitality. You got the range.
You
got the
better
range.
come on.
You got the range. And that's
Sounds
so
like we're
important.
at one of y'all ice cream parlors over here in Martha's Vineyard.
Pick your flavor.
Homemade.
Well, cones drip, and we also thirsty. So but what's interesting is that
What, Eric, what are you talking about?
I ain't gonna tell you what I'm talking about.
Reverend Dyson.
I'm trying to
Reverend
signify.
Dyson.
Oh, it starts with the preacher.
I want us all to do a group prayer.
Yeah, thank you.
Lord Jesus,
Please,
save him.
Lord,
Help
please,
him, Lord.
please.
Hallelujah.
I need more blessings. I need more. No, I need more. No. But speak to us about the luxuriating and all that beautiful blackness, right? That the rainbow, that says something beautiful about what we need to say to each other, especially in our community, that needs to celebrate each and every slice. Because we know when Beyonce recently celebrated, you know, the dark skinned girls, that, you know, and you see where I am. Some of the light skinned folk got a little sensitive, started making posts and like, no, it wasn't for you, right? Just like we did with white privilege, you got to talk about light privilege, right? We got to be honest, right? And self-critical. And look,
Well,
I know.
here's the thing.
Let me say this, and then I want you to jump in, because I'm clearly, as a light-skinned Negro, I've been, you know, I know what it means to be in exile, and then with Denzel and Wesley, and and Steph Curry and Drake brought us back a little bit, right? But we got unmerited favor to begin with because of being light, bright, and almost white. And now we celebrate the radiant beatitude of God's black imagination.
Yes.
So I just want to say that's what y'all do so brilliantly, and I wanted to set that up. Right?
Well, you said it.
No, but
You said it. Listen. We come in all shapes, sizes, colors. I personally hail from Louisiana, and there's everything going on. All right. So to have this family. And we don't make comment on any of that.
Right.
It's left for you to say, well, now we know that Grace was, Lionel did have that curly hair. And then there's that, oh Lord. But really, the first scene of Greenleaf, in the first episode, when we did not know that we would have your incredible support, I sat at the head of that table and looked at this rainbow of humanity, and it got so many different energies and all of that. And just Black people have it going on like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just do.
It's amazing.
We're not all redhead and Irish, and we're not, you know, we just have it going on. The diversity within us, which we were talking about yesterday, is incredible. And I just think Greenleaf is a really nice celebration of that without making a point of it, because we are that we are that we are that we are.
Right.
And we don't have to like make excuses for it.
No.
So don't you worry about how they exiled you.
Oh, no. I celebrate the diversity, have always done so, and laid claim to that in existential way. But what's interesting as we close is that if y'all could give us just one word that would kind of characterize this coming season for all of your fans out here, just give us a word, one word that would pop to your mind, right? That would tell us what this season is going to be like. All right, we'll start with you.
Redemption.
Redemption.
Ooh.
Miss Whitfield, what's you?
You gotta go.
Miss Winans.
Cataclysmic.
Cataclysmic.
Yeah.
Woo! Redemption and cataclysm.
Yeah.
Miss Whitfield, what you got?
Heartfelt.
Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot going on.
All right.
Quite a lot going on.
All right. Miss Winans, Miss Whitfield, and Miss Dandridge. Give it up for the ladies of Greenleaf. Bad, bold, brilliant, creative, fine, intelligent. Give it up for them.